So this morning we've got to take these down, get rid of all that and make them look neat. Well, put some cable ties more in that one, but make them look nice like them ones, because yeah, sort that switch out. So we've got nice lights over there. These ones are obviously not nice lights, and whip all these off because yeah, they just need replacing. And luckily I have put up here before some new lights. I put these out of the way when they started doing the bricking. Obviously that ain't been finished yet, but we've got these non-corrosive fittings, LED spot on. So we're going to use these and use their workbench, to be honest. So let's get these off. And as if I thought of this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 and 6 before. Oh, they're a bit swanky. Alright. And as we're just taking all this out, we can just disconnect it. Look, that's got the old colours. That's got your switch wire, the wire going in. And that is your permanent live, which is carrying on to... Whoa, what the hell is that? Something else. And then that's your neutral. So let's get this out. And we'll see where that goes. That. Get that over there. So we're going to put a new supply in that way. And this is why it's down to electricians to be able to select what type of fittings go in an environment. Because if you put this in, look at the state of it. It's just fell to bits. It's rusted beyond belief. So this is why we put non-corrosive fittings in to an environment like this, because they are going to have that door open, the damp and everything's going to get in. So we put something like this in. This is sealed and it won't corrode. It's plastic as well, an LED, and obviously it looks 10 times better. So yeah, we're going to get rid of this and don't put it back up in an environment like this. Stupid idea. Because if I just show you inside this fitting, that one pop when I put it in there. Get rid of that. Inside this fitting, because this has been up a little while, I wouldn't know how long, but this is what happens to a fitting that's not fit for the right environment. I can see why they've done it, because they're probably half the price, but look at that. Everything in there, that can cause problems. These little bits of rust can get in there, bridge it out, cause a fire, obviously stop working. These ends get corroded. Nah, to be honest with you, they're not too bad, but this is where everything goes wrong. This is why it shouldn't be in this environment. And all I'm going to do here is strip back live, neutral and earth, because none of this is an emergency, so it doesn't need a 4-core. If it was, we could put a supply to it as well, which is a bonus, but we don't. And then this one, we're looking at it, so that's your switch live. That's just put in there for emergency, and it's got no emergency pack in there. That will just, if you had an emergency pack put in, this would be easily fitted, which is a bonus about these fittings, because you can just unplug them, plug it into the emergency pack, and from the emergency pack straight into this. But for now, all we want is a neutral and live, and obviously the earth terminated into there, which you can push this down. Oh, not fantastic. Give it a bit of a twist. And there we go, that's not coming out. Neutral. There we go. And then going into the red, which will be the switch, rather than the permanent live. And inside this Lasico light, we also have, let's open this up. all the fittings. Like these I want, because these are going to clip on here to save me having to drill holes, and this is where the jack chain is going to fit on. But then also I'm going to go in at one end with a cable. So let's undo this. We'll get this out. So we've got cable entry at both ends, but it also comes with this, a stuffing gland. So I'm going to put it in this end. So we're not going to drill a hole in it. We don't have to, because it won't get any cable coming in. And then we're going to feed it with some 1.5 flex in there, connect it on and put it back up so it can connect into that little terminal box up there. And now this flex is just going to go straight up the jack chain to the actual box, similar to what this is done. So I'm going to measure this out, and then I'm going to do another one exactly the same. These ones will be different because they're fitted to the wall, but I'm going to do this one exactly the same so I can get up and put them up. So I'll make them up now. Right, now I just want to get this up, and I'm always dubious of these little clips, if they're tough enough to hold it at an angle to start with. Right, let's get up a bit higher. So I want to unclip this, feed it round this girder bit here, because it's just going to hang exactly like they were before without having to drill them and fix them to this jack chain. If there's any movement with the wind, oh flipping hell, if there's something can get caught on, it will. There we go. There we go. Right, so there we go, and then we'll just clamp that up. There we go. Let's get rid of this as well. There we go. And now we've got to get the other end in situ with that one. And these ones are a bit shorter, because if you see, the roof goes down. So my plan was to bring them a bit shorter. And yes, I'll put a bit of conduit on, just to make it look a little bit neater with the conduit on there. I don't know why I do it, just nicer, isn't it? So this should keep them at the same level. Let's get this. There we go. That ain't going nowhere. And now what we've got to do is get that to go up and along to that box. Some cable ties. Right, there we go. We're up in the air. Cable tied it back. I've got to put a few more over there. But now we need to connect them up so I get back in the darkness and turn it off. Obviously, knock it off over here as well, which is not labelled. We'll have to do that. And there you go, safe isolation. Right, moment of truth. Are they going to work? Look at this lovely switch hanging out here. Of course they are. Look at that, beautiful and bright. Right, so now we've got to sort out what's happening with these, which I know that is on the other switch for these two. No, just got to rip that out to start with. Look at this as well. Oh, at least I've used that hole to go through. Look, it's a mess, isn't it? But we'll sort it out. Right, so first things first, I just pulled the end off of that light because look at it. What they've done with this supply as well, they've used the armoured as the earth. That's your switch live, that's your permanent live, so it's got in effect a 3-core cable but using the armoured as the earth, which is not a big deal as long as it tests out right. So let's take this off, which I don't know, some people do things a little bit different. See if we can get this out of there. And this is where someone has obviously terminated it but done it a bit pants because it hasn't got all the strands. So we need to take this off and redo it. Right, I think this is going to be the best bet. We're going to stick the laser through. So these aren't even fantastic. Look at that, that's up there. So we're going to try and go over these ish. It's not really going to happen because that's going to space out again. If we go underneath them or above them, then at least we can use it to fix to. I would like to do something with this as well because it just looks pants. But if they're joined up correctly, who am I to say anything? It just looks pants. But we'll see what we can do. Clip that a lot better. Look at that, that's hanging around. So we're just going to make this neat. Might put it up that side because then our lights can go flat. And we'll obviously get rid of that one. Because then our lights can go flat. That is the plan. Right, well I've decided I'm going to sit it straight in there. Because then I can get this one so far. It doesn't need to be that. And the conduit can go straight through. And somehow fix it to this. They're freaking different levels, look. Do the best I can do, basically, is my plan. Right, they're up. So with these, I need to take both ends out because we're going to put conduit to go through there. And then this has got to be glanded into that somehow, accumulating the earth, because this is not going to be earth through off that. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll do something better. Look at that. Bit of CT1 around there. And that'll be beautiful. You could just, I don't know, put a cable tie on the end so it can't get pulled out. But yeah, that would look nice. So tag a friend who would be happy with that. Yeah, unfortunately, that is not me. I'm going to put in this. Tell you, it would have been better with metal, I suppose, but plastic is what we've got. So we'll put these in here. Let's get my little pen. And then see where that's going to be in there, and that's got to go in there. Flipping out, stuck now. There we go. There's that little mark. And I'm going to cut it with this. Not bad, not bad. Give a bit of a tidy up with this. And then that should go straight in there. But I want to put some saddles in somewhere, really, don't I? I've decided to get this to sit flush. I'm going to chop that bit out. Just that bit out of there. Just so I can get it to fit nice, because that's going to have live cables in once these lights are on, and I don't want that to get hung on or do anything. It'll have to go over that. But yeah, it's the best we can do. So, I had a bit of an idea to drill straight out the back and into the top. And if we can get this down here, freaking magnet off that. And get this to come out here like so. Get rid of that. And then get this little sock on it. Oh, sugar. Not that one then. Let's do it again. Get that chain down there. That out of there, like so. Let's put that there in case we pull it in. And then that is a bit of 1.5 flex. Is this gonna go? Yes. We don't have to have that conduit at all. Waste of time, that stuff. Right, so let's get one of these up. So this is where it just has to clip in to hold on, which is perfect for when I terminate it. Because how many times have you took one of these off and it falls to the floor? And then what we've got is your earth, neutral and live, can go into here like so. Neutral, and then remember it's the red that is the switch. That is not fantastic. The earth in there like so. And now we've got to get this. I left plenty on in case it went the other end. So then in theory it should just clip on there. Oh, it's not level, that end. And that is that light on. And that looks better than what we were going to do there. Definitely. Now we've got to figure out how we're going to get this in, which we need to turn the supply off once again. So then now, next doors came and gave me a cup of coffee. It's bleeding strong. But we've got the lights on, and let's have a look. Lasico, let there be light. Are they different colours? I think they might be. That one's like a cool white. Right, let's figure out why that is. Ah, it's got one of these. We can have it 3 different colours. I must have knocked this one by mistake. Yeah, I think I'll keep them that colour. But yeah, you can have them 3 different colours as well. 4,000K, 5,000K, 6,500K. That's good. Now all that's left to say with Lasico, let there be light. Da-da. Da-da. Quite smart little fittings. Nice one.